everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, and I'm here today to talk about my November TBR progress, if there was any, and my November book haul. So I did do a little bit better in November. As you will have seen in my nonfiction November wrap-up, I read 13 nonfiction books in the month of November. Plus, I read 2 romance novels, so that was a total of 15 books read in November. The 2 romance books were rereads of books that I already owned, so those don't even count. So of the 13 nonfiction books that I read, 11 were off my shelf. So let's just take a look at the old balance sheet, shall we? So I read 11 off my shelf. I brought 6 books in. I did not unhaul any or unread, and so that gives me a -5 for the month, which leaves me at 143 for the year. So for those of you keeping track, I started the year with 142 books on my TBR. I am currently at 143. That's not good, because my goal was to get the TBR down to under 100. Not going to happen, right? I'm not going to read 42 books or 43 books by the end of the year. But I'm glad that I did bring this number down a bit after the debacle that was the month of October. So feeling pretty good about that. I think I can at least get my numbers down to below where I started for the year. And if I do that, I'll feel pretty good. I'll feel like I at least did not increase the size of this TBR. And please remember that this is just my fiction TBR behind me, my physical TBR. My nonfiction physical TBR is in another room on another bookshelf. So let's talk about the books that I did bring into my house in the month of November. I was doing super good, right? I was doing so good at the beginning of the month of November. I won a book and I was given a book. So those, I felt like I didn't actively try to go out and buy books. And then, you know, book outlets started their Black Friday sale early and things happened. So whatever, things happened. That's okay. I still reduced my TBR last month. So let's talk about the new books I brought in. The first book is a piece of translated fiction. This is JiYoung, born 1982, by Nam-Joo, and it's translated by Jamie Chang. Now, this book is translated from the Korean, and I won it in a giveaway that David over at the Poptimist was running last month, which was awesome. I rarely win anything, and certainly nothing, very cool. So this is the second book I won in 2020, which makes me feel, like at least something good happened in 2020, right? So this piece of translated fiction has been called the Korean book for the Me Too movement. It's about feminism and misogyny, and I don't really know much more about it than this. When I heard David talk about it over on his channel, I thought it sounded amazing. It's just a short little book, and I have seen it pop up quite a bit, but I don't know too much about it, and that's good because I don't really want to know too much about it before I start reading it. I'm actually hoping that I get a chance to read this in the month of December, because I'm really interested to see what this one's all about. And then I had one book that was given to me. This book was given to me by my niece. This is Waking from the Dream, The Struggle for Civil Rights in the Shadow of Martin Luther King Jr. by David Chappell. This is a nonfiction book all about Martin Luther King Jr. I have not read anything specifically about Martin Luther King Jr., so I am interested to learn more about this man. I think this is a great place to start. I'm excited to have this book gifted to me by my niece. Okay, so these next 4 books are books that I purchased myself, and I'm really, really excited about them. So the first book is a graphic novel. This is Dragon Hoops by Leun Yang, and this is all about a man who has been really into basketball his whole life, and he ends up dealing with one particular team, and it's sort of, it's one of these feel-good type stories, sports stories. I love basketball. I played basketball when I was a kid. I am interested in this. I saw it on Split Reads channel. Vanessa over at Split Reads talked about this and she loved it. And she said that it would probably be one that I would also enjoy very much. So I am really looking forward to trying that one out. I don't often get graphic novels, so and because they're expensive, right? They're really expensive. But that one looks so good. And I was gonna like give it to somebody for Christmas, and then when it arrived in the mail, I'm like, I think I'm gonna keep it for myself. True confessions. And then these next couple of books, let's see. This next book was another book outlet purchase. And this one is because of Doris at Aldi Books. I heard her rave about this book earlier this year, and I really wanted to check it out for myself. This is The Address Book, What Street Addresses Reveal About Identity, Race, Wealth, and Power by Deirdre Mask. And this is another book of like social justice type information, all about how individual neighborhoods have been, because of systemic racism, have been segregated by race. I think Mel over at Mel's Bookland Adventures also read this book and really liked it. So yeah, from both of those two, I know if they've raved about it, I'm almost certainly going to enjoy it. Again, this is another one I want to get to really, really soon because I've been dying to read it. And then these last two books, I ended up picking up our local, we have a surplus and salvage store, and every once in a while they get a big inventory of books from a bookstore that's either gone out of business or for some other reason, and they just recently got a big shipment, and I went and checked them out, of course, and I was lucky enough to find 21 Lessons for the 21st Century by Yuval Noah Hurari, and this is just, you know, what it says on the tin. It says, Hurari takes us on a thrilling journey through today's most urgent issues. So history, social issues, all that kind of stuff, definitely up my alley. I have his book, Species, also on my TBR. Have not read it yet. So now I have two books by an author, which I have not read at all. I don't like to do that, but I really do think that I am going to like his stuff. I have read articles written by him in the Atlantic and other collections, so I know I do like his authorial voice, so I am hopeful that I will enjoy his nonfiction as well. And then a book that I bought because I'm hoping it's going to be like Lab Girl, and that is A Lab of One's Own, One Woman's Personal Journey Through Sexism in Science by Rita Colwell, PhD, and Sharon Birch McGreen. Evidently, Rita Colwell used to be the head of the National Science Foundation. First of all, let's talk about this cover, which is amazing and gorgeous and features microscopic illustrations. I love that. And Rita Colwell is one of the top scientists in America, the groundbreaking microbiologist who discovered how cholera survives between epidemics, and the former head of the National Science Foundation. So yeah, and for some reason, I heard someone talk about this, and I don't even remember where now, and it made me think of Lab Girl, which you know how much I love, and so women in science is totally up my alley. Can't get enough of it. Really have high hopes for this book. So that's it. That's everything I brought in the month of November and where my TBR currently stands. Let's hope that I can get some reading done in December before the Christmas books come in, because that's pretty much all that was on my wish list for Christmas this year from my family. So, yeah. Oh, here's the little kitty. Come here, Libby. You want to say hi to the people? Evidently, she doesn't want to say hi to the people today. She's over there. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. You little bugger. Libby says hi. Hi, everyone. She's not interested today for some reason. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well and finding some good books to read, and I will talk to you later.